putting the foot back into the in goal, catching on the full back of the 20.
Inglis comes up.
That's in and Darren Watani Zalesniak has knocked Moylan back to the Sutherland Shire.
The 64-year-old says part of his brain died from playing the game. A big wake-up call for today's players. Now if they hit high, they're sent off in response to concerns the game is unsafe.
In fact, Graham Annesley says the tackler is the person concussed about 70% of the time. In other words, tackling high is a risk to the person getting tackled, while tackling either low or high is a risk to the tackler. As of round 12 this year, 59 players suffered a concussion in the NRL. That's roughly one concussion for every 1.6 games. To put it another way, the rate of concussion in the NRL is more than double the rate in the AFL. Where does that leave rugby league? It leaves it in a position that no matter what sort of tackle is applied, someone is always at risk of getting concussed, and the stats say inevitably someone will. The reality is, players like in any industry know there's an element of risk involved. The question is, are we managing that best as we can? I worry about the game if we don't act now.
Look out! Saab now! Saab extending the legs, he's starting to get away, he's going to leave them all chasing here, Saab!
Flying through, looking for the try and getting it, Jason Saab!
Saab underneath it, takes it and scores, great take! Jason Saab in for his second try of the night and Manly go further in front.
Hey Mitch, in year 11 class, I've heard you talking about concussions in the NRL at the moment. So yeah, just a bit of insight on what we're doing to restrict them. Obviously, as you probably already know, that a concussion is when you hit your head and the brain is forced to move around inside the skull, and that can cause brain damage. And obviously, in the career of an NRL player, the longer a player's career goes, the more risk there is, to have that type of injury, and it's a pretty serious injury. At the moment, the NRL is trying to limit as much contact with the head as possible, and they're doing so, by sending players off and sin binning a lot more often than the sport has ever seen. So it's affected the game in a positive and negative way. Obviously the good thing is, there's obviously going to be less head knocks, but the bad thing is it's pretty hard on the game in terms of the identity of the game as well, and the contact. Obviously rugby league's not for everyone, but obviously we want to make it as safe as possible. So mothers aren't scared to put their kids in our great game of rugby league. It's pretty hard. Everyone has mixed views on it, but I guess it's just for the safety of the game and the future kids and players. Like myself and my teammates. Who want to have a life after football and don't want to have a limited life expectancy. Whatever sport it is, if you cop a knock to the head and you think you're not right, probably put your hand up and come off. It's something you got to take serious, and obviously that's what the NRL is trying to do at the moment as well. So
players are consistently getting taken off the field for a HIA, head injury assessment, due to the concussions they receive from playing this sport. A concussion is a traumatic brain injury, or TBI, caused by a bump, blow or jolt to the head, or by a hit in the body that causes the head and brain to move rapidly back and forth, which can cause brain damage.
Martin Lang and Spence. Well, it's going to be on here. Spence and Lang in the background. Lefts and rights and Lang over the top, and now
NRL legend Martin Lang explains a solution to this problem through, "I personally would not encourage anyone to play rugby league over the age of 16. He then explains, "I love the game, but personal safety, particularly around the brain, has to come first." Adam Cloon is a current NRL player, and I thought I'd ask his father on his point of view on these new NRL concussion protocols. He stated that the new concussion rules are designed to keep players safe, and as a parent I believe that it is important that you have a safe workplace. I feel that sometimes the NRL have gone overboard, as some head knocks don't appear to need any review off the field. The rules of the game have never allowed contact with intentional force to the head. The physical nature of the game means there will be accidental contact with the head. The NRL needs to find the balance between intentional and accidental head knocks. In summary, we can see the NRL are trying to implement new ways that there will be less concussions in the NRL. As we can see, there was 17 players sin-binned in round 10, and it's only up from here.